Hi, this is DeAndre. I am from Bandlez.
And this is Vishal, and I'm from Bandlez as well now.
And today we're going to show you how to make one of our wacky, cool, fun bass sounds.
Bubble sounds.
Yeah.
Bass sounds.
Before we get started, check out our new EP on Disciple Roundtable right here. All right, here it goes, guys. Coming to our secret lair.
Your fat ass over, please.
We're gonna show you all of our secret memes to make your dreams come true. So, what we wanted to do with this track is we wanted to make something really bubbly, like really round, and just obnoxious overall. So we'll play you the drop, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Pull up at the
So as you can tell, it's equal parts bubbly and obnoxious.
And farty as well.
And farty as well. So what we started off with here was actually an old Virtual Riot preset from his old pack, Virtual Riot presets number 2. And it was kind of like a sine wave thing. It sounded a little bit like this when it started. Something like that.
As you can tell, it doesn't really sound like anything. It's just a...
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little like that. And so we wanted to be really obnoxious, so we came over to here and we added this high pass filter and we turned the resonance pretty much all the way up so that it makes a...
It's a little peak.
You know what I mean? Like that. Mm-hmm. So when you turn it on, it does that. And
gives that bubbly sound, as you can hear.
Exactly.
If you want to A/B that just by turning off the filter.
Yeah.
It doesn't really even sound like anything.
It doesn't sound like anything. We're basically made a really crappy sound, or took like a sound that we made crappy because we were fiddling so long, and then we added this, and now it sounds good. So.
Good is
if that's not indicative of our whole production process, I don't know what is. But, so, with our high pass filter, we just kind of find the sweet spot. So, you could make it tiny or thick. Yeah, so once we found our sweet spot here, we went to our filters and FX, and we added a flange filter first. Which makes it like kind of robotic and gives it some voices. So if I make it, what's the word? If I make it obnoxious, you could tell what we mean by robotic.
Yeah, and gives like the little tail at the end.
Yeah. It fills up more space too. It really it makes it so that it's like,
it sounds like there's a lot of frogs on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much.
Talking.
That's the idea here. And so we actually like to use the flange filter a lot. It fills up a lot of space, especially when we don't know what we're doing. We just throw a flange on it. So you just
throw a flange on it.
Throw a flange on it. So that's something we did here, and it worked, and it sounded good. And then if we turn off the other effects, you'll hear where our mind was when we made it. This chorus effect gives it a little bit more voice, so it fills up a lot more space. It's a little bit wider with it too. So we kind of just mixed that in to make it sound like there were more frogs hopping around on the ground.
Look back from time to time so they can cut in, like when you're talking.
Yeah.
From time to time.
This chorus thing makes it sound like there's more frogs on the ground.
More frogs on the ground.
So there's more ribbits happening at once. So ribbits plus chorus equals more frogs.
Oh, a gaggle of frogs.
A gaggle of...
A group of gaggles of gaggling frogs.
Oh my god. Next, we added a hyperdimension, which makes it so that there are even more frogs. Except, no, they're like thicker frogs, like they're fatter. So it makes it so the space that the sounds take up is bigger. Chungus. When we wrote the song and we started to see what the song was starting to be, we started to notice that because we're using this tiny little bubble noise, we needed to fill it in and kind of make it as big as possible, because it's really the only element playing when the drop happens. So the best way to do that, the best way to make something thick, make something like juicy, is to add sausage fattener. So we added 1 sausage fattener, and we started off with it as high as it could go, and we pressed it.
Guys, this is all really interesting, but I'm sure you're quite thirsty. Would you like a drink?
Yes. Thank you, Rob from Dodge and
This is
Fusky.
empty. This is empty. Let me fill it up for you.
You got it. This.
I'll hold it. You fill it up.
Oh,
'Cause that side.
What is this? Oh, it's Rockstar.
Rockstar Energy Drink.
Yes. As we were saying, we threw a sausage fattener on it, and we turned it up all the way. See, so the amount of fatness makes our little friend here, yeah.
Yep.
And as you can see, this is licensed to DeAndre Ruiz, which is my first and last name. I did not steal this plugin. I own this plugin. I paid money for sausage fattener. All right. So, with fatness all the way up, fatness intensifies. We should do that. We should do a fatness intensifies.
Yeah.
All right. Shake your head, like vibrate, like internalize depression. Like do that. There you go. You could do fatness intensifies.
If you do that while you're making music and adding sausage fatteners, you were doing it right. Basically.
So we took the fatness knob and we slowly turned it down, at least until it stopped sounding bad.
Yeah. That's a really useful thing when you're adding distortion and stuff like that. Is you want to just crank it up all the way and then slowly take it down until you get to the point where the distortion kind of stops sounding too obnoxious and sounds just about right.
Yeah.
That it actually helps the track instead of just sounding noisy and obnoxious.
It helps if you close your eyes when you do that, because if you look at it, you'll realize that it's way too loud. But you're not supposed to know that it's way too loud. It's supposed to sound good. That's the trick.
Yeah.
All right, so after we worked with our sausage fattener, the next thing to do was to EQ it a little bit and put some OTT. If you don't know what OTT is, it basically makes things way more louder by compressing it into tiny little bits. So, again, started off with maximum OTT, or close to it, and slowly brought it down until it sounded good. And from that point, we're just gonna slap a limiter on it. We have some EQing here, and again, makes it way more louder.
Also, it really helps if you start making your sounds or the whole track basically with a limiter on the master channel, and that'll just help you give you like a really terrible master job.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's really helpful when you're trying to make sounds that are too quiet or sounds that really don't sound that full.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, you want to have a limiter on your actual sounds because it'll keep it from clipping and it'll make it louder. Pretty much, louder is better. That's the common theme here, to be completely honest. To go through some of the EQing that we have this thing, whatever shape this is. Let's look at it.
It's a low pass, notch, high
peak filter.
Peak filter.
And then we have this one, right here. It's a no pass, big belly, high end pusher.
All pass, high upper. Decker.
And then we have, last but not least, a high pass.
High pass. High pass.
At the very end, we're using a compressor to sidechain it to the kick and the kick clap thing for rhythm. And that basically makes it so whenever the kick or the clap hits, the sound gets really, really quiet. It's not completely quiet, but it's really, really quiet. It lets us fit a lot more in the song. So when you're mastering your song or you're mixing it down and you're squishing it to tiny bits and pieces, because that's what people do these days, it'll basically make it so that it doesn't sound distorted in the end. You'll fit the synth where the kick was and the kick where the synth was, and everybody goes their separate ways. After you have that all done and you have your fart noise, then you need a sub layer. So what we did was we used an instance of Serum where the only thing open was the sub, and wow, we have a lot of we have a lot of effects on this. Okay, this isn't doing anything. We're gonna get rid of that. This is not doing anything. We're gonna get rid of that. This is not doing anything. This is doing something. This is not doing anything.
I just skip all this part.
No, you can leave that in. That's
No.
kind of funny because it shows how disorganized we are. And then you get left with this. Turn your headphones up so you can hear the earthquake. So when you play them together, it's one thick fart boy.
And then you just have your drums and atmospheres and drums playing.
And now that you have all your farts in a row,
Pull up at the spot.
if you want to check this patch out and mess around with it and make some creative stuff, we'll have the link down in the description below. Download that sucker and take them for a ride.
Put it in your Serum. Hopefully it's legal. And take that for a ride.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, guys. And make sure you check out our latest EP on Disciple Roundtable.
Hey guys, thanks for watching another video from Disciple. Make sure you like and subscribe and see you next time. Is that right? I know you tell me, how about that?
For freedom of the body helps in freeing the mind.